Alright, so we just hit 10,000 subscribers, which is honestly insane. That is already just like so much more than I expected to get in the time we did it in. But you guys are amazing. And so for today, I actually got a special video. I'm inside for the first time. And we're actually gonna do a tier list of all of the self-improvement habits to see which ones are the best, which ones are overrated, and which ones are underrated. So here we've got the chart. We've got underrated, which is gonna be for the habits that you probably aren't doing, but you definitely should. We've got life-changing habits, good habits, meh habits, it's not really that crazy, overrated habits, and then the habits which are actually hurting your progress. So I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into it. And there's no better way to start than weightlifting. The gym, as you could say. It is probably one of the most important habits in self-improvement, but here's the issue. A lot of people, they go to the gym and they believe that they're like changing their lives with self-improvement, but they do just that. They don't stop scrolling, they don't start, improving their mental health. All they do is go to the gym. So it could definitely be a life-changing habit if you were to have that be a way for you to like develop your discipline. But because most of the time it is kind of just people that are, wasting their time at the gym scrolling or hanging out, I'm gonna put it as a good habit, not a life-changing one. Now, the next one here we have is fighting. Fighting, boxing, MMA, whatever. All fighting things are actually, honestly, in my opinion, very useful. Learning how to fight is a very good habit to have, and it's also just good because it's a good source of exercise, and it also just makes you feel more confident in your skills. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's life-changing, so I'm gonna also put it in good. Now, definitely, I have to just already underrated. People do not realize how important sleep is. You have to make sure that your sleep is your top priority. I promise it is so useful, and people do not realize how much you have to learn to get your sleep up. It is so underrated, and having a proper sleep schedule can lead to having your best physical and mental health. Now, next is reading. Now, reading, I would honestly say, is a very good habit to have. It is a very good way to learn while not having like a screen in your face. It's just good to improve your skills because you need to learn how to read. So honestly, I'm gonna put it as good since it's not like absolutely crazy. I might change it later, but for now, it's just that good. Next, we have NoFap. And I know you're gonna be mad at me for this, but I would say NoFap is overrated. I wouldn't say it's hurting your progress, but here's the thing. A lot of people believe that NoFap just means instantly cutting off all fap, cutting off your bad habit. But that's not how an addiction works. You can't just automatically cut it off. Even if you make that decision, your body still hasn't. So stop with like no fap, no nut November, whatever, and just work on making progress yourself. Get it to like once a week, then once every 2 weeks, then once every 3 weeks, until you're finally able to get it to like once a month. Until then, you don't even crave it anymore and you don't even want it. It's all about progress. It's not just one attempt. So that's what I have against NoFap. And I would honestly just say it is really, really overrated. Next, we have cardio. I'm putting that in underrated because I know 99% of people watching this video are not doing their cardio. You are not taking advantage of how useful it is. You can get so much done with cardio. You can literally improve your physical health so much through cardio. You don't have to make that your entire thing, but just being able to run, being able to have good stamina, good speed is so useful to have, and it's also, the benefits are endless. Just being able to run like 5 kilometers in less than 30 minutes is so good. And I really recommend it. You have to understand how underrated cardio is, and if you aren't doing it, start now. Next is ice showers. I'm gonna have to put it into meh. Like, it's a very good habit to have, don't get me wrong, and it definitely helps with discipline. But the thing is, most of the time, people are just like waiting in front of the shower, just looking at it and then like hyping themselves up, so they're not even building their discipline. And it's wasting a lot of your time when you're doing that. So if you are using it as discipline, the second you turn on the shower, you're in. I would probably put this as good or even life-changing. But just because of the fact that people, when they see an ice shower, they just like procrastinate in front of the door, I would not say it's a very good habit. And literally just having it like lukewarm is good enough. Next is stretching. I know for a fact you are not taking stretching to your advantage, and this is so underrated. You do not realize our bodies get so tense when we do so much exercise, and if all that tension builds up, you're over. I'm pretty sure I even have it right here, David Goggins' book. There was a moment in his life where he thought he was literally gonna die. Like he was literally on his deathbed because he was doing so much exercise. He was running hundreds of miles, but he didn't stretch once, and it led to his muscles being so tense he couldn't move. And the second he started stretching, all of that got reverted, all of that changed. So you have to learn to let go of all of that, because stretching isn't just about relieving stress in your muscles, but it's also about relieving stress in yourself, getting rid of all the tension that's on you. So it's honestly so underrated. I might even put it as life-changing. Stretching is so useful, and it only takes like 10 minutes a day. Next, we have socializing. Socializing is good. It can be very useful, don't get me wrong, and one of the most important things is brotherhood, but you have to make sure it's the good kind of socializing. If it's just you wasting your time, gossiping or basically just yapping, there's no point. You're not improving yourself, and you're just like, you are socializing, which is good, which is why I'm not putting at it hurting your progress or overrated, but just I wouldn't say that it's like a good habit to have. Make sure it's the right kind of socializing. Make sure it's good. Make sure it's not bad for you. You don't want to be hanging out your entire life with a bunch of people which aren't good for you. Next, we have mewing. Oh yeah, I did it. Mewing is so useless. It is hurting your progress. Not only is it like not even good for your jaw, but it is completely a waste of time. There's no such thing as mewing. It's the dumbest thing ever. And the issue with it is that a lot of people believe that they are changing something when they do it, and instead it's kind of just like a trend on social media. It is not useful. Do not waste your time on mewing, alright? I didn't even think I had to make that, but I just felt like I had to include it. Next is praying. Praying and like religion in general. Self-improvement is all about becoming the best version of yourself, and you can't do that without God. God is literally the only way to being the best version of yourself. The only way to actually be disciplined, the only way to actually quit your bad habits is by loving God and having so much faith in Him that you don't even feel like you need those habits. So just trust me when I say this, try to learn more about religion. The next one is scrolling. And now the reason I put scrolling in self-improvement habits is because a lot of people believe that just because their feed is filled with, self-improvement content or educational shorts, like some of the ones I post, you have to realize that scrolling is still bad for you. It is still a negative habit, and it is literally just a waste of time. More educational videos like courses, books, and YouTube videos like this are a lot more useful than shorts, and you actually get knowledge out of them. So don't waste your time with scrolling and with all of that. It is literally just entertainment. Waking up early. I was gonna put it life-changing, but here's the thing. Waking up early can be a very good thing, and I would honestly say it is life-changing. But you have to realize that waking up early means nothing if you just spend that time procrastinating or scrolling or whatever. There's no point in waking up at like 4 a.m. Like I remember I was waking up at like 4:30, but then what happened was I was so tired, I was so like restless that I would not work that time. I would literally just procrastinate, watch YouTube, whatever. So instead, don't do that, all right? Make sure you wake up at a time which is reasonable, where you get enough sleep and you're actually motivated to work, because waking up later at a time which is more suited for you is a lot better than just waking up at an earlier time. People aren't gaining the advantage on you if they're watching YouTube or scrolling when they wake up early. Make sure you use it right. Next here we have meditation. Ooh. I'm gonna put it as good. I've put a lot of habits in good, but most of them are kind of just that. Meditation is so useful, and I know that it sounds like really weird, it sounds like a bunch of bullshit, but you have to listen to me when I say that meditation can be so useful. Like all other habits, meditation is just as important for self-improvement. It gets you in the right state of mind, it clears all of those clouded thoughts, and it gets you to know exactly what you're going to do. You're not going to be thinking about, what if I do this, what if I do that, what if I do that. No, you're going to be sitting down planning exactly in what order you're going to do things. Meditation is so useful. Make sure you're taking it to your advantage. Next we have, I'm going to put dieting at life-changing. You do not realize how important a good diet is. It's not just a good habit to have, it is a must-have. It will literally change your life, having a good diet, making sure you're getting the right food in your system. Because there's no point in eating unhealthy food for just the taste. Healthy food can taste just as good, and it is so much better for you. If you have the right food in your system, it is what's gonna get you motivated. The benefits are endless. Your mind will be less clouded. You'll have better sleep. Literally everything about you will be better as long as you get the right food in your system. Filling yourself with junk just to get extra calories in for your bulk isn't gonna be useful. It is not gonna change anything. Make sure you're eating a healthy bulk, not a dirty bulk, all right? And just in general, have a good proper diet. Next we have journaling. Journaling is, like the other ones, a good habit to have. Journaling is so useful because you can reflect on your day. Journaling and being able to see if you're on the right path or the wrong path is so useful. If you see you're doing bad in your journals, reflecting on yourself and being like, I could have done a lot better today, then tomorrow you're gonna do better to try to improve that. Whenever I see my journal go into me complaining or whatever, I know I need to change, and that's how I get back on the right path. Next, here we have, I'm pretty sure that is like coaching or basically trading money for information. And okay, I know you can probably find so much information on YouTube and whatever, but I have been in so many courses. I have literally bought millions of self-improvement books. I have done everything because money for information is literally life-changing. There are so many things that you can't learn unless you pay money for it, and it is a sad reality. You can't get all the information for free, and especially having coaching or something like that, it is so useful. Being able to have someone give you advice for your exact situation. I remember at the start of my journey, I joined a course and it had drop shipping, it had mental health, all of that. And although drop shipping wasn't the way for me and I didn't like it, it definitely taught me a lot and I don't really regret it. And especially with all the coaching and everything, having information for money, whether it's books, whether it's courses, whether it's coaching, is so useful. And make sure you're definitely taking it to your advantage. Because even if you can get the exact information online for free, the thing is, when you spend money for it, you are more dedicated because you actually put something in. If you've put nothing in, then you're not gonna really care. You're gonna just watch the YouTube video, but nothing's gonna change. But if you spent money for that, you're gonna be taking notes, you're gonna be doing everything in your power to suck as much information out of it as possible. So definitely worth it. It is definitely life-changing. Next, we have calisthenics. Honestly, yeah, I would. This is a hard one because calisthenics has. Actually, I'm gonna put reading into life-changing since it is information, and I'm gonna put calisthenics in good because calisthenics is actually so much better than the gym just because of the fact that with calisthenics, you're able to do it anywhere, you're able to improve your skills, you're able to impress people, you're able to make a living out of it. A lot of people do calisthenics and it actually helps them build a good network just because people actually love to just see someone levitating like that. It is free, it is so useful, and you can do it anywhere. You don't need any equipment and get an amazing physique. So honestly, I might put it at life-changing since you don't need to spend any money on it, because people will think a cool physique is good from the gym. But if they see you doing things like from the floor to a handstand push-ups, anything like that, they're gonna be amazed, and that's when they're actually gonna take more interest in you. And now the last one is just sitting down at a desk and working. Sitting down at a desk and getting things done. It is life-changing. And I'm not gonna say it's underrated since a lot of people already know this, but you have to understand that working is so important. Whether it's on a project, whether it's on, a business or whatever, making sure that you're working on your goals is so important. Whether it is for school, whether it's for a personal project or whatever, make sure that you learn the skill of sitting down at a desk and being able to work for hours nonstop. I promise it will change your life. But those were all of the self-improvement habits that I had. I couldn't think of any more. If there's one that I was forgetting, just put it in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot wait to grow more together. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless you, and amen.